I'm delighted to speak to you today. The Global Solution Summits provides a great venue for holding vital discussions, and I would, as usual, commend the organizers for this excellent event and salute my dear friend Dennis Snauer. As you know, the governance of artificial intelligence is a global challenge that is urgently needed as algorithmic systems have become an integral and growing part of our daily lives. A fact that has been highlighted by the meteoric rise of the powerful generative AI tools such as ChatGPT. ChatGPT reached 100 million users in just 2 months, yet it replicates and by virtue of its scale, exacerbates many of the ethical challenges of previous AI systems around issues of fairness, non-discrimination, misinformation, privacy and data protection, and more issues related to this. The way these AI tools have been put in the markets, considering questions of commercial goals or geopolitical elements, tell us that we need to have a more comprehensive discussion and apply an ex-ante ethical assessment before they get into the markets. And then we start wondering what will be the risk and how do we address them. At UNESCO, we are at the clear view that effective governance systems are required, including rules, institutions, competencies, and governments need to step up of their duty of care, ensuring that the downsides are control of these technologies while we keep a dynamic, innovative environment. And this view was endorsed by 193 member states in 2021 when they adopted the recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence, which lays out values, human rights, human dignity, fairness, sustainability, principles, transparency, accountability, and concrete policy actions that are linked to concrete rules. And we are particularly proud to have a gender chapter and an environmental chapter, along with many other issues related to labor markets, education, culture, and communications. And we are now working with over 40 governments around the world to help them implement the recommendation as a matter of urgency. So the question here is not whether or not we need to regulate artificial intelligence, but how do we do it? As I said, in such a dynamic technological ecosystem, the frameworks need to be well thought to avoid unintended consequences. And this crucial question has been dealt in the G7, has been dealt in the EU. Some had preferred to go for a risk-based approach to regulation, which is good to avoid the worst-case scenarios and also to build up the understanding of how these technologies work. There are many benefits to this strategy, but the model at UNESCO is somewhat broader because we are proposing an outcome-based approach. We call for AI developments to produce inclusive, fair, and non-discriminatory outcomes that protect human rights and human dignity along with environmental sustainability. Depending on the legal frameworks and societal preferences of different member states, you can define what specific path you will take to address them, but there should be this functional equivalence and also interoperability. But at the end, fairness, justice, non-discrimination cannot be trade-off for any other goal. We need to make sure that the outcomes guarantee that the rule of law and liability regimes that ensure compensation is there if things go wrong. We need rules and audits as many other sensitive economic sectors have them. And for this to work, we also need competent authorities and effective institutions. We need coordination because there are many sectors, many ministers that are dealing with AI, and they need to come together, along with the private sector in a multi-stakeholder approach. And we need a clear definition of responsibilities within and around artificial intelligence systems, and relatedly, there must be no possibility to grant legal personality to AI developments itself, which is a key provision for the recommendation to keep the human control in these developments. Of course, given the important role played by the private sector, the discussion on best regulatory frameworks needs to include them, along with the civil society, with youth. And we are glad to share that we count on Microsoft and Telefonica as co-chair of our Business Council for the implementation of UNESCO's global standard. As we work with more and more countries to implement the readiness assessment, the pilot the tool that we are producing for diagnostics, and the ethical impact assessment, we would like to suggest that these can help us to think about the best way to move for an effective governance system. The work that we're doing is also supported by our AI Experts Without Borders and the Women for Ethical AI networks. And because we need more awareness, we need more understanding for everybody, including people related to these technologies, we are also launching the Observatory of Ethics of Artificial Intelligence with Alan Turing Institute. And we invite you all to come to the Global Forum on the Ethics of Artificial Intelligence in Slovenia early next year, where we will be putting all these pieces together to reflect and to build an inclusive environment to develop the rules that we need. We are also working with the G20 Indian presidency, who I also commend for their leadership in these very important issues. I look forward to continue this conversation at the Global Solutions Summit and to keep on building technological developments that deliver for people. I wish you fruitful discussions.